Hi, I'm Chad with Move Forward Guitar. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to play major triads in close position. First off, you can click the link on the screen and download our Triads eGuide, and that's a free eGuide that you can download that contains all the diagrams for this lesson plus much more. It'll be really useful to you. Like I said, it's free, so no reason not to just go download it. But I'm working on it right now as I'm filming this lesson, so if it's not available yet, it'll say coming soon, so just watch out for it. But don't worry, you don't need that eGuide to follow along with this lesson because all the diagrams will be on the screen. So I'm going to show you major triads in close position. And don't worry about what close position means. I'll have other lessons that explain that. I'm just going to show you these shapes so you can get them down and start using them right away, and they'll be really useful to you. And I'll have other lessons that dive into close position and open position and all that. And I already did a lesson that went over a little bit of theory about triads, so you can click the link on the screen if you need some theory behind what triads are, because I'm not going to dive into any theory in this lesson since I did it in that other lesson, but you may or may not need that information. If you do, just click the link on the screen and go back and watch that. Otherwise, if you just want to get these shapes down and start using them, watch this lesson. So I'm going to be playing C major triads. And these shapes will stay the same no matter what key you're in. Obviously, you'd just be in a different spot on the neck and different keys. I'm just starting with C because the first one I start with starts low on the neck, but it doesn't matter which one I would start with. And as I play each one of these, the diagrams will be on the screen. It'll show you which inversion I'm playing, what notes I'm holding. And in the diagram, it's not going to say the fingerings that I'm using. It's going to show the intervals of the chord. And the intervals are really important to understand with triads. That's really going to give you the foundation you need for understanding harmony and all that. And also, fingerings are different for everyone. So what works best for me might not be what works best for you. And the playing situation a lot of times determines the best fingering to use as well. So that's why the diagrams are going to show the intervals, not the fingerings. So I'm just going to start with the string sets 1, 2, and 3. Those will be the strings I'm fretting, and I'm going to start with C major triad in root position. And then I'll move through all the other string sets. So those are C major triads on all the string sets. I just played each one starting as low as I could reach on the fretboard without any open strings. So that's why I played the ones I did, starting with the ones I did. And you'll see that when I started with the first set, that I started in root position and worked up to third inversion, but then it changed as I went to the other string sets. And that was, like I said, just so I could start as low as I could without using any open strings. And a good way to practice these would be like I showed you, to play them starting on one string set, play them horizontally up and down, and then randomize the order so you're not just building muscle memory by playing them in order. And do that for each string set. Once you can do that, it'd be useful to play them horizontal. And what I mean by that is you could start with the first string set, no matter which inversion you start with, but I'll just start with C major in root position like I did when I started this lesson. You could start with first string set, and then instead of going horizontally, move up towards the ceiling to the next one. And so you'll see that all you're really doing is taking your highest note and moving it down to the lowest note each time. So when I started here, I would take my G, move it to the lowest note, then I'd be here, then I'd take my E, move it to the lowest note, and do that all the way. And then do that for each inversion. So I'd start with root position if I was starting in C, then I would do it with first inversion, do the exact same thing, moving horizontally. And these diagrams are all in the eGuide when that's available. If you download that, it'll all be in there. But I think you can get that down pretty well just by figuring it out and figuring out how to take one and move the highest note to the lowest note. And be sure to check out our other triad chord lessons where I'm going to show how to do the other chord types. It'll be really useful to you to get all of them down for all the different chord types. And be sure to subscribe because we add at least one new lesson every day.